Hey guys, it's Allie. Welcome to another tutorial Tingles. For this tutorial Tingles video, I wanted to show you guys how to make a really fun craft in celebration of Father's Day, which is coming up next month. And I have made a gift for my dad for this Father's Day, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. So you may have heard a ticking sound for the past few seconds, and that's coming from this really neat clock that is made from an actual vinyl record. I'm trying not to catch my ring light. It's reflective, but you can see the numbers in the hands of the clock. My dad is a big music lover. He is especially a lover of classic rock. And he grew up listening to vinyl records all the time, so I thought that this would make a great gift for him in particular. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a Father's Day gift. You could make this for yourself or anyone in your life who is also a music lover. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this really neat clock. And it's really simple and easy to do, and very inexpensive as well, but the end result is really neat. So I'm really excited to give this to my dad on Father's Day. And Dad, if you're watching this video, then just act surprised, okay? So before I show you the steps to make this clock, I'm going to show you the album that I chose for my dad's clock. This is Cream's Goodbye album. My dad is a huge Cream fan, which he passed on to me. And he loves Eric Clapton. And this isn't necessarily his favorite Cream album. Probably isn't many people's favorite Cream album, but I wanted the record that I used for the clock to be something that was at least significant to him in some way. This is Jack Bruce and Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker. And they make up Cream. show you the inside as well. This lists some of or all of the tracks that are on this album. I think that my dad is gonna be really excited to put this up on the wall in his study. At least I hope so. The artwork in here is interesting. Looks like a bunch of headstones with the names of each track on them. You can see where there are like flowers and things, like in a cemetery. I kind of assume that the significance of that is that this is Cream's final album, their farewell album, their goodbye album. So maybe that's kind of what this is meant to portray. That's what I theorize anyway, but if anyone knows exactly what the artwork here is all about, then feel free to comment below. I'd love to learn something new. Artwork even looks a little bit kind of Yellow Submarine, Sergeant Peppery. Looks sort of reminiscent of that. On the back here it says illustration by Roger Hayne. So maybe I should do some research on him. Now, I'm going to show you how to create our vinyl record clock for the music-loving dad in your life, or whoever else you'd like to make it for. So let's get started. So for this craft, you're not going to need very many things. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple to make actually. You'll need 3 things. You're going to need a clock movement kit, which you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And you need a clock, what would I call this? Face. It's a clock face, I guess. Now, oh, and you can also find this in the same section at the craft store. You can also buy clock kits like this that come with a set of the numbers, but not already arranged in the circle. But this is going to be a lot easier because they're already properly positioned, so I went with this instead of that. And this one is adhesive as well, so it's just going to stick right on, which is going to be good. So you need these 2 things and a vinyl record. And these can be found pretty cheap at thrift stores or half-price books is where I found this cream album. So, all we're really going to do is position the clock face on top of the record, and then the hardest part is going to be assembling the actual clock movement kit. But that actually shouldn't even be especially difficult. So I'm going to open these things up. This album that I chose for my dad's clock, is kind of an interesting one. It's Cream's sort of farewell album. And my dad is a big Cream fan. I don't think that this is, well, I know that this isn't his favorite Cream album, but I thought it would still be good for this project. If I had to guess, I'd say his favorite is Disraeli Gears, which is probably most people's favorite. Most Cream fans. Personally, I don't know if I have a specific favorite album of theirs. But do have favorite songs. This is their last album, their fourth one. They really didn't stick around very long as a band. I'll give you a little backstory. I'm a Cream fan also, thanks to my dad. Cream is made up of 3 members. Jack Bruce, who was a vocalist, I believe. Ginger Baker, who's the drummer, and Eric Clapton, who is the guitarist and vocalist as well. And Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker had a lot of friction. They did not have a very harmonious friendship, so it kind of contributed to the band's sort of short-lived time. But with this album, the album right before it is called Wheels of Fire, I believe. And just before that came out, their manager announced that they would be disbanding, but not before doing a farewell tour. So right before the farewell tour, they recorded the songs for this album. And this album was actually meant to be more than what it is, more than what it ended up being. It was supposed to be a double album with 2 discs instead of just the one. And like one disc was supposed to have a bunch of studio recordings, and the other one would have a bunch of live performances. But I don't know, I guess they just weren't feeling it because there just wasn't enough good material, good music to make that happen. So it ended up just being one disc, and it's made up of 3 actual studio recordings and 3 live recordings. And each of the members was supposed to write a song for the album. And if you're not familiar with Cream, you're probably at least familiar with Eric Clapton. He's a pretty big name. Cream, they were sort of a, I guess a classic rock group, but they had a lot of elements of psychedelic rock, which is kind of one of my dad's favorite musical genres. And then they had some hard rock, blues rock elements too. And you may be familiar. One of their top hits was "Sunshine of Your Love," so you may have heard that. And that was on Disraeli Gears. And my favorite song, my personal favorite song, is actually not on Disraeli Gears. It's on Wheels of Fire. I think it is. It's White Room. I really love that song. I had it as my ringtone for a long time in high school. I remember. Okay. I'm gonna open this up. Okay. So here are little clock parts and the hands. Got our minute hand, hour hand, and little second hand. Okay, so we'll put these aside for right now. And apologize to those of you who are going to be upset to see me, I don't know, deface this album, but if you're a vinyl hipster, then just try and understand this is done in the name of Father's Day for my dad, and of course with nothing but utmost respect and admiration for Cream. But if this is going to be too hard for you to watch, I completely understand. So now might be the time to turn off this video because I'm about to handle this record improperly. I don't want to stress you out. Okay. Let's take this out now. To tell you the truth, it feels a little bit wrong to me too, but I know my dad's gonna really love this for his Father's Day gift. Okay. Side note. It's kind of a fun trivia fact. The word groove, or like used in the groovy sense. One explanation for that, for the use of that word in that context, is the grooves of a record that the needle goes into. Bet you didn't know that. Or maybe you did. Okay. Okay, so first we're going to remove the clock face from its backing. Okay, removing it from its backing was actually pretty noisy, so I'll take that part out. Here it is. It's got a sticky adhesive back on it. Hopefully this is sticky enough to stay on there, so we'll see. I'm sure it is. I don't know why they would make it not. Okay, so I want to try and really position this well. Okay, so that's pretty well centered. And the name of the album is there, so even though some of this is covered up, it's still visible what the actual album is. So I'm going to press down on this. You guys are seeing my natural fingernails today. You normally don't. But mine are actually long enough right now to make nice tapping, scratching noises, so I decided to go au natural, nail-wise. Okay. Keep pressing this down, make sure it's really secure on there. not on this side, but on the other side. The song Badge, just number 2 on side 2. That's an interesting one. It was actually co-written by Eric Clapton and George Harrison of the Beatles. Let's start with our clock parts put together. So, got this little, so this is the clock movement, and it takes one AA battery right in here. Okay, so that's in there. Now I want to position this through here, but there's a slight issue. This opening is not quite big enough for this, so we're going to have to mess with it a little bit. Again, this might be difficult for some people to watch. So I'm just going to try and widen this hole a little bit. Okay, so I destroyed this a little bit with just rotating the blades of the scissors, so this will fit through there now. So let's pop it through. Now, you can see that's through there properly. And from this point, look at my instructions on the back here. I can hear it working now. It's ticking. It says, rotate the movement components until dial is aligned properly with clock bank. Assemble the clock hands to shaft and rotate time set dial for correct time. Okay. So this should be properly aligned already. And now, I'm going to use this little handy diagram from the package to guide me. So what I was going to tell you about the, what was it, the song Badge was written by Eric Clapton and George Harrison. Put this little bird on now. And originally it was not titled. Remember I told you that all 3 members were supposed to write a song for the album. Well, Eric Clapton did not have his written yet, and he was hanging out with George Harrison. George Harrison was kind of helping him with it, and they were hanging out writing music, and George Harrison was writing some lyrics. He got to like the middle part of the song and didn't know what to write down for it yet, so he figured he'd come back to it. he wrote down the word bridge, like for the bridge. And he and Eric Clapton were sitting across from each other at a table, so Clapton looked over and read the word bridge upside down and misread it. And he started laughing really hard and saying, "What's badge?" He misread it as badge. He was saying, "What is that? Why is that in the song?" And so that just ended up becoming the title of the song. And then, okay, we're gonna put this hand on now. And then apparently, let's see, how do I do this? So there's a line in the song that says, "I told you not to wander around in the dark. I told you about the swans, that they live in the park." So apparently during that writing session with George Harrison and Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr came in at some point. Am I doing this right? Maybe not. Drunk, apparently, according to George Harrison. You have to forgive me, I've never made a clock before, and this diagram isn't actually that helpful. He wandered in drunk, talking about swans in the park. So, apparently that's where that line comes from, too. Now, let's see, this one should go there. Let's you just press the second hand in like that, and there it goes, it's sticking. Cool. This is a little bit bent, so I'm gonna okay. So now all we need to do is set the time. So it is, what time is it? It is 2:55. So let me adjust this. This is going to be interesting, doing this somewhat backwards. Okay. So now, turn this. It is 3 o'clock on the dot now. Perfect. It was 2:55. No, it is not. Okay. Awesome. And there it goes. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tock, tock. Cool. See, it's actually all pretty straightforward. Really simple, and now my dad can put this up on his wall in his study. So this is just a really super easy, neat looking gift that you can, I guess, make for any occasion, not just Father's Day, but this is going to be perfect for my dad. He's going to really love it. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial Tingles video, and commenting below with ideas for more tutorial topics. And I'll try and make some of those happen for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. And I'll be seeing you all again very soon.